Well, it's official, ladies and gentlemen. We have a series on our hands. 2 maps in favor of AK, and then M80 deal the pain right back, claiming 2 of their own with such a strong performance here on Icebox. I mean, when we look at M80, we look at Icebox. This is a map that, you know, is normally pretty good. It's one that's been feared, but recent downfalls on it had questions, especially in this series, and not many questions now. I mean, Koala had tweeted about the team's comeback potential. It should never be doubted. This team has strong mentals, and Jen, we saw that come to fruition here.
Yeah, it almost became a joke internally within M80. I remember them mentioning that in an interview, that they laugh about how slow their starts really are. And that was molasses at the start of the series. Like, these 13-4s were driving us crazy. We thought we were going to have a short day, but like you said, Sierra, the comeback is insane. And, you know, they had 2 options of flashes with the KO also to suppress the util. It made M80's offense really scary. And even without that duelist, they played really reactively to just punish the initial AK aggression, which they had to kind of change around. And with the ISO, Vans, we were talking about how often we even see this on this map. It made it a very slow scaling affair for AK.
Yeah, it was really like a one-off usually for a couple of teams like Talon, like EG, for example. I think even SAT Esports and Challengers that were trying to bring that up in the first place with the aggression that ISO could get with the how quick he was with the double taps before he got the nerf. But overall, it almost seemed like bringing the ISO for all nights for how they wanted to play the defensive side was too hyper-focused on the vulnerability with the shock dart combination to really try to clear out towards yellow. But M80, they were just there to fight. They looked so much cleaner than they did this map than they did at the very beginning here of this series. You even saw it from the highlight reels and how they closed out the map of how Xander could just be out in the open and just flick left and right to the wingman, to a headshot, to another, support from net. Everything looked really good and the communication looked much better for M80 in this map versus the beginning of the series.
And we had criticism, you know, towards Nismo at the start of just, this was uncharacteristic M80, you know, missing shock darts or just the kind of the weird mistakes that they were making. For Nismo to have that MVP-like performance on Icebox to force that Game 5 is huge for M80. Well, we go to Abyss now, where what do we expect where we haven't seen the Abyss from M80?
We'll get to Abyss in a moment, but still something to be highlighting with M80 and just kind of this turnaround, Vans, looking back towards a round. You're talking about Nismo had uncharacteristic start in the series. M80 overall was a little bit uncharacteristic, but we really got to see more usual M80.
Yeah, if we're able to see it in round number 12, it's basically looking at the over-encompassing of what M80 is able to bring to the plate. It starts with Nismo. He gets like his third null command within 1/2. He's just owning it up on that side. Gets some sort of like dances around this area. That's the confidence that you've awoken the beast of Nismo. Finally in a 4th map that's created so many openings as a KO. And it comes down to buying enough time for this to happen. The 2 versus 3 played away from a lockdown that was being placed on the defensive side, yet the coordination was still good for the last 2 players to throw a one-way smoke, to keep one within the radius as BCJ gets his 1, gets detained, but then you have Colo Nu that comes back, kills the one-way. Everything looks so good under the pressure, and now we get to go to the Abyss, as what you were talking about here, Lemon Kiwi. It's going to be a fun one to witness.
And especially, too, when everyone's firing on all cylinders, I want to highlight Nismo yet again, because the impact from that map was absolutely huge. We talked about the MVP, and this is somebody that, if Nismo's stepping up in his series, Jen, I feel like this team can go absolutely so far. And he really did deliver in the most dire of times.
Yeah, the KDA, ACS, like, it's off the charts, the impact that he had. And this is the type of guy who's the hype man in and out of game. And you needed your initiators to be big because you did not want to have let AK have any time to scale the map and take that map control. And that's where the flashes come into play. And that's what makes M80 such a strong team in North America, was their flash heavy style. So I'm excited to see how that's going to work, because I imagine he's going to bring that KO also to Abyss, or at least we don't know, but it's pretty popular there, so we'll see.
Yeah, and if anything though, Nismo also in this map was not only about his flashes, he was fragging out and literally fragmenting players, because that round number 16, if it didn't come to the post-mortem kill that he had on that molly to deny the plant going in from All Knights on that attack side, we probably would have seen All Knights fight a little bit more here within this second map. But Nismo really saved that for the team. Both of the players realizing that the spike was down, they tried to survive, they died, but thankfully just after time, which then allowed here just it deflated the morale, it seems like, for All Knights after, because they didn't look composed at all in the following round, and it was an easy closing for M80 after.
A moment for them to take a breath, as now we have map 5 in the series for Abyss. And Jen, you were talking about Nismo. Is it going to be the KO for Abyss? What's he bringing into this? We just know that for M80, they need to be having a strong suit, a strong style. And to say from M80, we don't really know what else that they have to be bringing us. We have not seen them on Abyss, not just here at Ascension, but in Challengers either. This has been the unknown. So for it all to be down to the cider now is crazy. Up against an AK that has shown that they do have a strong Abyss under their belts.
Yeah, especially All Knights, yeah, they are pretty comfortable on their jet, and that's the big question mark, is how is M80 gonna approach a jet-like map where Koala on Haven was, you want to say, out of his element? He was getting picked off, you know, more used to that Yoru style, and we don't know if M80 are gonna lean towards the jet, but most people do, and I imagine probably gonna be a mirror composition around maybe the Omen, the Sova, and the Cypher and stuff like that. The Duelist is what's really the style that both these teams differentiate on, where it's more Yoru for M80, and well, actually we're gonna see in the agent select right now what the duelist choice is gonna be, because also M80 like to not play duelist sometimes. I feel like the jet is very necessary here. I was gonna say potentially even the Yoru would have been good here for M80, because that's something that even G2 brought out at the very beginning for Abyss, and it kind of fits the playstyle of Koalanu to be able to have fast TP to support and then go for the repeaks with the second TP. But he is going to go for the jet instead. It is also going to be a mirror comp, but the difference is that M80 hasn't shown this yet. And the last time I've seen a team not show a map and then bring it into Ascension was Glorious on Haven, and it did not look good. So hopefully M80 has something else in store.
For All Knights, they had the right start to the series, but M80, they've got the momentum. Can they close out, or will All Knights get the upset? This is for the spot in the grand finals. M80, All Knights, and Abyss. And time, Uber and Wyatt, for the final time today. Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's waste no time and get stuck in here. M80 coming into a best of 5. A team that always bans bind have to know they need to play this map. And again, it comes up at the end of the series for them here. We've seen teams bring hitherto unforeseen maps into this competition and look good. And then we've seen it look pretty average as well. Nothing crazy about the composition. I think, Wyatt, you were in agreement with, in Vans and thinking that maybe we might see the G2 comp come out.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
No, M80 going standard.
At least something similar, right? But yeah, basically, Yoru being the most important thing. Yoru has been Koala's go-to this year. And not just his go-to, but M80's. They have built their comps and strategy around the Yoru being played. Koala takes that first duel, always with the Sheriff on the pistol on defense. It has been good for them today. A couple first engagements won in just the same situation. On some of the prior maps, Nismo holding close. What a shot from Dante. Koala trying to trade, forced to reload, forced to fall back.
Really common angle we see players take up on that site. We almost always see the walk up, especially if there's a dark cover on B itself, to check that angle. Dante Deus takes a little bit of damage in that exchange, but so does Koala Noob. And AK is still thinking they might want to go for this. Xander will post up on the angle that was just vacated forcibly from Nismo. And then it is down mid. VCT's found one, but that's awkward from Xander. Can't quite find it. Connects, but Koala Noob is still in the game, and he is still fragging out. And Verso almost punished for that. Goes down to 44, but Nico Machine is here. The commitment now for AK, well and truly on B.
VCT did just cycle that recon. A lot of pressure could be applied to it. First off, the flash over top, and Net just deals with Nico instantly.
Whoa, what a random hit through the box. And Verso to 28. Double face now here. This is dangerous for him. Trying to stop the deep. He's trying to slow it down. But M80 will not be denied. And they're going to walk away with this pistol.
And the rare occasion where Verso is the one denied. My God, man. Trying to jumping up to top site. I mean, gets that first kill on BCJ. That is a sick attempt. 3 on the round already for him, but not enough. Not enough. A lot of credit to Net for how he played in that 2 versus 2 as well. Just swinging together, BCJ and Net was really the key. Just deleting Nico Machine when he tried to peek off of his own flashpoint in main. M80 starting so strong.
This time the Cypher util is going to be set up over towards B. Obviously with a very difficult to remove camera. That's already gone. Well, now, of course, really wants to make use of this long sight line. Zander's been crept up on. There's already a player very close to him. Read into this. No, Sabano gets the drop on him. Up through top mid now. Mid is controlled by All Knights.
Stealing sight.
And that trap wire been rendered essentially useless, already pinged out. Nismo's about to have his hands full here. Okay. That Outlaw now getting involved in the game. Terrible timing. That's going to force Adverso out. That fragment delaying him. A double swing though works here for AK, but BCJ's there.
Down A.
Frenzied trading. And now M80's defenders have to come back through spawn.
M80 just didn't know where to look. The pressure that Sabando was applying by just existing at top mid.
He's going to get more, Wyatt.
I know what M80 do here. It's so free for him. It's free on the flank. Sabando single-handedly just winning that round. The kill and then just the disarray it caused to M80. They could never find a moment to deal with him. Sending out that paranoia, just staying alive, hanging around, offering opportunity for the rest of the team to rotate back towards A. And then the way that his teammates pounced on Nismo backside, trading him out.
And that's conditioning for M80. Yes, it's on a thrifty round, but the fact that Sabano's able to walk up mid, TP across, and wrap on Xander, it shows just how instrumental controlling mid is on this map in general. Our teams invest so heavily in it.
I was about to start talking about how M80 winning the pistol round, they get the Outlaw now, and then, you know, the economy gets good enough from winning a couple, you know, rounds off the back of winning the pistol that they're just getting ops in the hands of Koala Noob as often as they possibly can. With the long sight lines you mentioned, how dominant the op can be here. Well, that's out the window. I mean, we'll see that op a couple rounds from now, maybe.
Yeah, as powerful it is on this map, it'll be a wait for Remainder to get towards that.
And
maybe you start to think about, like, the Cypher cams into mid, maybe a little bit more of that Sentinel utility so they don't have to commit so many players to it. That's frustrating for defenders, really, to try and operate and have strength on either of the peripheral sites, whilst also denying that kind of play up mid. It's going to be weighing on their mind now. It's definitely going to be in the back of it, at least.
It's one thing to play a map in scrims. It's another thing entirely to debut on it when 2 years of your hard work are on the line.
Oh my God.
All Knights, they just don't want to give anything away right now. And why? Why would they? I mean, this is a team that who the hell would have thought would be in this position? The second seed from LATAM with a, I mean, a long shot and a dream coming into this tournament. Rated below Rada, the #1 seed from their region. They've surpassed them. They're on the precipice of beating M80, who most people predict would be winning this tournament. A team that knows they should be here.
Ballless round, of course, is M80 remainders just hop off the map and get it over with.
Here.
They weren't going to get close enough for the spike to die to that, so those were their options. So here we go. We have an M80 buy now. Koala Noob with the operator. Already flashed off that angle. 0 point there sees very little. So, okay, no, that's a light hold from the extremities that M80 are conducting here at this site, but still raw contact for Zabando gets punished.
Thought he had slipped through the net, but Koala Noob was all too aware, and at this point they know that it's a dangerous game. Exposing themselves to any open angle on B. Koala knows that if he re-peeks the crosshair of his Jetfo Dante could be awaiting him. So he opts to pick up towards mid instead. Spots Tinchoff deep, but does he expect a Nico close?
He snuck up. There's still no Sentinel utility in mid. Very passive angle for Nismo, but still a scary situation to go up against the Guardian with 48 health.
Yeah, that's one shot to the chest and he's down.
Nico's happy to wait on this camera as well. We'll spot any pressure elsewhere in mid. M80 have taken back up residence here.
30 seconds left.
And Dante was pinged out. Wanub is waiting on it. No spam, of course, here. This could be ugly. Dante's ready to fight. In he goes. Xander's able to catch him, though. Good reactions from the controller player M80. But Nico now's found a timing to get in. This could unravel things for the defenders, but meanwhile, Xander's over on the side itself. Someone has to go here. And it's Nismo. But Nico now has to play a 1 versus 4 out. Takes the operator player down, but that'll be the round. And Xander will allow some time for the op to be recovered. And defuse will be completed. It's an even game. Folks here on Abyss early.
Nico just in the right position, but with the wrong weapon. Can't capitalize off of a flank with the Guardian. It's just not ideal. I'm gonna be honest, I think Dante thinks he's still playing Neon. What the hell was that? Yeah. he dashed right in there. Didn't even throw smoke. He just dashed in. Tried to break Koala's ankles. I suppose if he were alone, he might have done just that. Put him on the bench for a couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, Koala was still... Yeah. Well, he was still sad, of course, with that operator, so... Would have been awkward. Dante's still able to buy one, and Koala just walks up into that. Not what you want to see early in the round here for M80.
I thought he had a timing to get the angle with the drone coming up. Maybe thinking as well that Dante just wouldn't risk having the op. I mean, even with just a pixel shown for a second, I'm always expecting Dante to somehow find a shot net. Well done, picking up a kill onto Adverso in mid. And they fall back, M80.
In their wake is the Cypher Cam up top mid. We'll be able to spot just how far up AK have moved, but still All Knight's in a position to drive a massive wedge in between Nismo and the rest of his team. Nismo accordingly playing pretty safe as that solo player at 8.
They found my wire.
All Knight's rather starting to get a feeling that an individual of Nismo can be pressured now being caught inside at 0 point.
Look at how much of the map All Knights have just from working up mid again. Dante's angle, but he whiffs. Prime opportunity to send net to the grave. He can't capitalize. Tinchoff now exposed as well. M80, all of the kills going their way. They're posted up on the right angles.
And that
re-clearing.
He knew that surviving that, if there was going to be any pressure coming from B, it would be heading towards him at that very moment. So he heads back to heaven and finds the kill of the player walking up. Now Nico's got a huge gap between him and that site. There's just no time. There's no time for a plant. They're going to have to hold on to this operator and Vandal and run it back in round 6.
And Nico's been saving up his cash, though, so they will be able to have a good buy into the next. Retaining that rifle, dropping for others, etc. So All Knight's still with an opportunity to win the gun round, still with the operator, and now credit bank aside, the alt bank is what I'm keeping my eyes on. They've got the Hunter's Fury and the Null Command ready to go.
Yeah.
You can't ask for a better opportunity than this to win a gun round.
They might ask here just for a fast hit over towards A. Mid is being very heavily populated, but against a null command round, that's probably not really where you expect AK to go. Nismo's about to be stuck here. That is an attack side.
Here.
0 points, just to see if anyone is tucked an A main.
Yeah, thrown close. Check as well if Nismo maybe fell off to that side of the map. Doesn't, just goes back sight.
Here.
Playing a bit more safe. Koalanoob wants to lock down mid with the op, but it gets really dicey when the cages start coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe a dark cover as well to obscure your view. Unaware as to when the attacking team might have pushed deep. Got space.
That's info for Tinchoff. Now they know the op is in mid. What better time than to slam one of these bomb sites? Okay, waiting on this. Null command shortly started off. Here they go. And Bursto, with the spike in hand, he is fired to hand it over to someone else. Here comes the Hunter's Fury. Dante already got into the back of the site there. Met Nismo. And Ned is forced to hide through security. Just kind of swing the smoke there up against this. Evident that M80 don't want to play that full retake style. But now I think they're just going to have to walk away from the round in its entirety.
No, there's just nothing they can do. It looked like Nismo, I mean, he wanted to anchor, but he didn't know where to look. There's players up, down, left, right. My man's fighting in tilted towers. He just had no idea what to watch. Gets shut down. Hunter's Fury, just such a distraction. Probably regretting even trying to stay in the site at all, frankly.
And that shaky, tenuous economy for All Knights here is allowed to stabilize. You see how important it is to keep those operators in the game. Both teams definitely prioritizing them very heavily. That round, Koalanoob goes mid and doesn't sort of see too much. In previous rounds, it would have made perfect sense as AK have been moving up there, trying to contact it, but as soon as you see like a cyber cage up in mid, you don't know if someone's wrapped around over towards, the tower side on the A side.
Yeah, that is where things get really tough in terms of M80 getting information as to what's happening in mid. That area of the map has been a struggle for them so far. And I hope to see that they don't continue just trying to have this Nismo kind of solo anchoring kind of on A thing going on, because that has been the look the past few rounds, and it's not going to be the look this one. They insert Koalanoob into main with the operator and fall off to hold elsewhere on the map.
I'm very close to having seen something there. Nico's going to throw him some cat. Keep him a little bit busy. Urso's actually heading back in this direction too. Very much though a default setup for AK, and obviously half the round has now elapsed. Tinchoff is slowly doing his thing, working his way up mid. Such a nuisance.
All Knights are happy to play this 2-1-2 default. Monitor B, monitor A. Get Tinchoff inserted. A really aggressive lurking Cypher that they've got on their team. His impact can't be understated as far as winning the first two maps for All Knights go, but after that, hasn't done enough.
Okay, he's pushed forward towards A. BCJ though, nicely done, holds his ground in tower. This will slow up that plant. And M80 get to make a retake happen with a full squad. And Verso pops up over the dark cover. That's the spike in hand, no less. Koalanoob there doesn't try to tempt fate any further. Benico now's gotten amongst the pigeons. There will be a plant. Hunter's Fury is up for BCJ though. Another whip for Koalanoob. Knives at the ready, it's time to go. Hunter's Fury being thrown out there. Savanto misses his opportunity there in upper. Koalanoob is out of knives, but plenty of teammates to work with. And he's getting a little loud. An important round for M80 to sneak back.
I love that M80 played that for retake, first of all, but All Knights really overextending themselves, offering their lives up to be taken, and they were. Koalanoob just posted on the angle. It's just so simple. Gets the freest kill. It's the spike thrown away, and for what? Absolutely nothing.
It's hard to know, yeah. Inscrutable what Verso's plan is there.
Yeah, they are going to have to rectify that if they intend on finding success on the A site. I'm glad to see M80 have already fixed that error from the prior round and just grouped up, actually played for full retake plan there.
Okay, look at this TP forward here from Xander. He wants the real estate in mid. He got pinged out instantly. Cam will be thrown behind him. Tinchoff knows, though. Xander just walked into that. Surely Xander hears the camera get placed, turned on behind him. He still goes for it. Here it is. Another dark cover towards security. BCJ can't find anything early this time. Oh, jockey. Okay. Nico forced to step away from it.
A fair bit of damage. All the while, Dante got a lot of space backside here on B.
Spike planted.
M80 players gathered up and security flashed through, and Nismo wins that duel. Dante flashed up, Koala trying to post up on the angle. Nico in so deep and gunned down.
That is a retake to remember. My God. That's M80, by the way, in a 4v5 to start with. After losing Xander up mid, and for Nismo, it's good old-fashioned Valorant. Flashed myself out of smoke. Beautifully done, and not all that complex either.
That is precisely what I wanted to see from them. I mean, they made that error on the site hold where Nismo tried to anchor alone. They couldn't get in to help him. And they said, we're going to do what we do best. And that is play big, set pieces, set retakes together. That is where M80 find their success. Looking so clean, back-to-back rounds.
And it's almost like BCJ knows that round after round, he's going to get smoked out of tower there. He knows this, but he's able to still get some work done. He sprays down, throws a shock dart that delays the plant enough that Allnights aren't truly ready to fight when that retake starts happening from him. I mean, I saw Nico Machine as Koala Noob swung on him. Looked like he was stuck in mud. Absolutely overwhelmed there, despite that util from M80. Coming out of security. And that's going to be an issue going forward. I mean, even with 4 players, like, that's a beautiful retake for M80. They're still formulating, I think, on how to, like, what the foolproof way is to control mid without, you know, getting crept up on. And Tinchoff is probably public enemy number 1 for them right now. Very ratty, very hard to clear.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, during this Allnights timeout, I have to imagine their coach Zonic is tearing his hair out watching these guys push forward, though, past that B backside box and fighting towards where the op is holding the angles. Twice Nico Machine swung past the op angle. Koala Noob just didn't happen to get the kill on that. He did kill him later, however, but
cover going out.
They're getting the sight, but they're pressing too far forward, and M80 are really exposing them in those poor post-plant positions. That is something that Zonic is going to have them rectify going forward if they need, I mean, if they don't want to have, they need to have success on the A site.
Koala Noob here not opting to walk up with the op. This is around, but Dante's still able to get an operator. So you still have to respect that threat. And we saw the pings over to Nest. Slower start to the round here. Dante just sort of gives up the angle, says, okay, there's nothing to be found here at B. Let's see what's happening elsewhere. Big investment of util now. A trapwire as well, just to inoculate against a push-up like we saw from Xander previously. This time, though, he's mixed it up entirely. Tinchoff at 1 and 6, right? Doesn't feel like he's a huge impact player, but just being alive here in mid. Annoying for M80.
Allnights rotating back towards B, where Sabando has been just containing this orb the entire time.
30 seconds left.
30 seconds left. Clock is ticking quite low. Koala Noob with an opportunity to find a first blood.
Hey, the correction not quite there. Dante's a little bit low, but he gets the site anyway. Dark cover thrown down in the middle of it. This gets uncomfortable because Sabando gotten into a nasty little backstab position. Dante was down, but he was low anyway. Swing the plant away, don't you? Koala Noob with the op gets there. And it is AK laid to rest in droves. Tony Tinchoff there with an operator. That's what M80 are looking for. And that's now the back of Allnight economically broken.
I mean, they just never dealt with Koala Noob, the little backside goblin running around with the shorty, with the op. I mean, maybe for a second they were even using the op like it might have been another shotgun.
Might as well been a bayonet.
The double pump strats. I mean, he steps up massively on the anchor. Cool attempt on the side exec using Sabando's ultimate to teleport behind into heaven, but M80 just cross the T's, dot the I's. Quality wants to go fast forward again. Can't capitalize with that initial shot. Knives for Dante Days. Trying to press forward, blinded up.
You're on the side though. Nismo needs to step aside of this. Through the cyber cage as well. Close quarter 0 point thrown out. Placed off, but Dante makes him dangerous for Koala Noob, still getting involved. Nismo to shut down the Jet. And here comes Koala Noob. His knife's a little bit sharper. And an aim to match. 3 kills out of the round. And that's M80 getting to 7.
The difference in the reaction from these M80 players, just the energy that you feel from them is palpable. And the contrast couldn't be more stark to where this series began, where we were when Haven ended, and especially where they were at mentally, where Lotus ended. And look at them now. The resilience is unbelievable. And they are putting All Knights to the test, a team that has just never felt the pressure of a situation like this before. This was an M80, they were here last year. They couldn't get it done, and they are doing everything they can to get that done now. And Eco Machine is down already. They are so aggro, they're so confident.
This has got All Knights just wishing they put them down on Sunset. But let Sleeping Giants lie. But M80 now are more than just awake, they're aware. This has been pretty close to flawless this round. Great little push out of A to start it. And All Knights here needed to get their way back in. The money is overflowing. And now as Adverso and Sabino as the 2 group up in the direction of mid. Might think to test B, but there's 2 trap wires set up there already. No safe haven for these 2 banditos.
None at all. We've arrived in the point in the game where, I mean, keep calling back to it, but when All Knights just could do no wrong, every play they went for, every crosshair was placed exactly where it needed to be.
30 seconds left.
That's what it feels like on this round from M80. That's what it felt like on the last round too. They are so locked in. They really have just entered the flow state.
Which is so bizarre after seeing the first 2 maps where M80 got, what, 7 rounds?
6
seconds
rounds in the first 2 maps. The
sheer resilience required to bounce back from that kind of opener and look so flawless on Icebox. And now take it to Abyss, a map we've never seen from them and have a rock solid defense so far. They've already got themselves
all you need.
8 rounds.
This really would be an all-time comeback if they can pull this off. And they can taste it. They are so close. So close. 2 years of grinding from the core of this team, sticking together despite any offers they got for the partnership season this year. Just for this tournament. A tournament where only getting first matters. Second place doesn't mean a damn thing. Gwalub still with this operator, posted up, controlling A main. It's been him versus Nico Machine on this area of the map.
What's they're doing? He is so far up, and on this side as well. Playing the upper causeway through mid. That little probe there forces a full re-clear of mid out of AK. And they don't have a lot of time to work with here. They just don't the bandwidth. Timing there for Koala Noob, not exactly benefiting him. He needs to get off that line for now. Teamshot finding himself on the outside looking in this time.
Yeah, rarity, right? I mean, this is
That's been his
how All
house.
Knights were able to get their couple rounds that they have on the board early on, controlling mid, placing those smokes deep and getting a lot of control of the map in that area. Here comes the null command. Can Koala get that first kill? The flash is nice. Nismo is so close.
Nismo actually into the smoke. Love this from him. He's going for it. Fouls a second, but it's only the KO that he brought down. Koala Noob would love to capitalize here on their attempts to bring him back into the fray. Sabando, though, tried to TP forward and fell. Cassandra's here off to the side. And a very short-lived reprise there for Nico Machine. Teamshot, though, eventually emerges from his hidey hole. Oh, the movement! The smooth from Koala Noob! Oh, my God! The boy is here! And he just brought the roof down on All Knights.
Switching sides.
That reminds me of the moment on Sunset where Dante just slid by Koala and killed him with the shorty. Does something just about as obnoxious to Inverso there, close range in the smoke. Koala has firmly
He's different.
taken this game over. The opping is just sublime.
All right. Where do you go from here, All Knights? Halftime after our final map, or in our final map rather, it's M80 with the classic 9-2-3 scoreline. The number 2 seed from LATAM there, Ascension chances are on the line. They started the series conceding only 7 rounds, as it turns out. And they have not been a part of the game since sunset. If there's any time to come alive, it has to be now. It has to be with the pistol. And it has to be with an overwhelming run back to avert this reverse sweep.
It's always easy, you know, for a young team at a big event like this, when you have the momentum on your side, when you can do no wrong, how incredible that feels. But the second you kind of reach that glass ceiling that you can't break through, how fast teams fall. We've seen this internationally before. It happened with Heretics at the beginning of this year. They spoke about that a lot. When they, suffered a loss at an unbelievable comeback because they just weren't mentally ready for a situation like that at a big tournament. And it's that same type of a pressure being applied to All Knights right now. Up 2 maps, up 2 dominant maps. Now down by 6. Series tied 2-2.
And they're no strangers to this level of adversity. They've been reverse swept before in big games. And they were still able to recover it in the lower bracket of those LATAM playoffs and qualify. But this time, there are no second chances. There's no coming back from this. All Knights now teetering on the edge. Time to throw down in our second half of Abyss.
Fast from M80. Fast safe split. They are running into 3 players, though. Opportunity for All Knights to anchor this site together.
The hit's going to come from main at the same time, though. Teamshot doesn't know where to look. He's got whiplash, but Nico was able to find 2. Low on ammo, will need to refresh that. And he eventually gets overrun. We're even in players. Classy shot from Sabando. Catches out Nismo. But here comes BCJ. He's forced apart with the spike, and now it's Xander at 20. Sabando offers him up something. But Dante Diaz is lurking. And he's hungry for the run back. With a sheriff in hand as well. Xander's options are extremely limited from this point. Has a smoke of his own. But ultimately has to push this one if he wants to play the game. Where are you going?
He wants to slow things down. He's got a couple opportunities. Abyss is a big map with a whole lot of flanks.
Mid door this door here is already broken. So he gets up here for free. 32 seconds to play now.
30
With
seconds
the ghost,
left.
he's upgraded his weaponry. He might get the drop here on Sabando. The timing, though, doesn't favor him. Dante's already looking there. And he just gets away with it. There's All Knights posting the pistol. The first step in their comeback, if it's to be.
Just one shot away from getting away with that. How clutch is Sabando in a situation like that? The nerve to hit that tap on, I can't remember what player that was, but whoever that was coming out of main.
Nismo.
That onto Nismo, that tap, oh my god, the nerve in that situation. 20 HP. If he doesn't connect that, the site is gone. The round is over. Sabando is such a hero. Such a hero. Keeps him in the game. 0 point close from Nico Machine. Broken and in danger from the Outlaw. A duel of Outlaws.
Thunder, though, in the classic spot. M80 optic to force that rifle into this round. Guanu, though, won't see too much. A lot of smoke over that site. Now we have to refresh and go again. Over towards A, covered in that Cypher util. Mid is no guarantee either. That's being covered for now by Adverso, albeit with a Spectre. He'll fold back towards security instead.
They found my wire.
He knows they're coming. Team shot. He's going to have to be ready for this now. It looks like All Knights will be in a retake. Nismo will be watching this.
take with the man advantage, and Tinchov hasn't revealed where his camera is just yet, so when the retake is on, he'll be able to get a lot of information. Ping one of the players.
Nismo's coming
Main
inside.
smoke off.
The smoke. He's looking to try and take that fight anyway. There's Tinchov finds there. Adverso planting his feet. Can't quite win out against the Outlaw, but it's going to be tough here for him to come back. 2v4. Koala swings the Cloudburst. And there's BCJ in 1v2. And a 1v1. So close. And All Knights are able to get there. Nico runs up with the Bulldog. Weapon advantage.
Team A.
Takes dividends for All Knights.
Not with the classic. Had me sweating. What a goddamn clutch that could have been. But still, the consolation of the damage done and the spike going down is more than enough for M80. They will happily take that.
Enemy remain.
They commit that Outlaw to Koala Noob. They love to give him an opportunity, especially when he's got a hot hand like he does in this map. By risking the investment, buying that up for him, and you can see that the risk has now put BCJ in his position where he has a light armor, he has a Bulldog, and Dante is in so deep, so fast, playing off that recon of his arc cover.
Oh, love this. Little rotate around, but Net's there. He's a little quicker too. Here's that Hunter's Fury. Where's BCJ looking? Oh, okay. Almost caught onto Tinchov there. M80 had to be satisfied with just that one kill. Very messy push up there for AK, who really wanted to try and establish themselves in mid. Still a lot of options on the table here for M80. It's a vacant B side outside of that utility. And the one way that Sabando continues to throw up at A will only provide a flimsy amount of protection for a time.
He wants to hold that one-way close, hoping that he'll have an opportunity to find the kill. Nico Machine wants to create the opportunity, but falls down for it, as does Sabando. And this round is all but done.
All Knights' bonus as well was very, very close. So they've really had to empty the coffers to get this buy in this round. And it looks all but lost now. No. Savannah left over at A. No one left to cover it. This is the moment where, if you're going to become a legend, it starts here for All Knights. Can Adverso and Tinchov break through this 5-player hold with arguably weaker weapons? No, in fact, they don't go for it. Apparently, discretion, the better part of valor. They need to keep that Vandal in the game.
A sad state for them where it's a couple light armor and a Guardian that they need to save desperately, but that is the case. They won't even have a good buy on this next round. M80 confirmed to get to 10, and they can taste the victory. They only need 3 more from there. Nismo is on the hunt too. Like, M80's economy is particularly great, but still, any damage is really worth its weight in gold with the lead that they've got.
Oh, M80 want this. Not going to get it though. BCJ. It's the meme where the Minecraft guy's like digging. He's very close to the diamond if he turns away. I think that wasn't a Minecraft meme initially, but you know, we
yeah, well, yeah, the PG version, it's about Minecraft.
Just keep digging. Still, 4 up at the end of that round. For M80, big stabilization. Still an Vandal, rather, and a Guardian held here. I'm glad that Nico has the bandwidth here to show us his signature pose. TikTok has ruined us.
Just Mog one last time.
Just gotta let him know who the alpha is.
Sonic calling. Another tack pause here. At a very crucial moment. Maybe trying to cook up some kind of unique little aggressive play, something to do with this bad buy that they're going to have. Something to set up Dante, who's really gone quiet on this jet.
Yeah.
Has really not found any moment I can think of.
We talked about at the end of Sunset, there are no more Neon maps left, and Dante is 8 and 15 on Icebox. Not able to do his thing. In fact, even on Sunset, he's 15-19, so decent showing, but not what we'd seen from him early in the series.
No, maps 1 and 2, his combined kill death was, I believe, 43 and 18, something like that. 43 and 19. I mean, nuts.
As of like 15 minutes ago, he's the kill leader in Ascension. The first play hit 408 frags. Koala Noob behind him at 357. Goals between those two. So it's safe to say that he's something that All Knights have lent on, relied on. This map, he's not able to be that player. Round 16 here, folks. 5 rounds to M80's favor. And a slightly awkward buy. Still leaves AK with plenty to work with.
M80 intending on trying to press up mid. BCJ's drone going forward, getting a decent bit of information. And you can see Koala Noob made some presence known, and that dark cover was thrown by Xander over towards the link, just obscuring the view, making All Knights question if they're going to be getting flanked from mid at some point into this round when a split comes in onto one of the sites.
They've given up a lot of the map here in order to shore things up over at A. But there's plenty of time for M80 to head elsewhere. Maybe activate net. See if he wants to move up for a little bit more.
Wow, look at All Knights on the minimap right now. They are convinced that it was going to go towards A.
They have to
30
hedge.
seconds left.
They have to hedge at some point. This is such an important round, and they've got to try and get Stinger value, I guess. But no, we hear it over towards this A side.
Eyes down.
Dante, despite being inhibited to some degree by the Null Command, is able to find net. That's big. Doesn't really slow down this plant, though. The traps are being cleared, albeit with the bodies of M80 players. They're not actually being shot, but still.
Left.
No one's there to follow up on them. Kwanu playing close here.
That was some good damage done by Dante too. Makes those stingers a bit more relevant.
This is getting heavy now. Xander and Kwanu able to combine. Win out on top, but Sabanda wants to push into this. Is anyone watching that angle? Nico Machine makes his way out, but Nismo stands tall. And bear in mind, BCJ still standing back, ready to watch that plant location. But how can he bail Nismo out from this position? He doesn't want to give himself up for free either, and Nismo's now cut off.
One enemy remaining.
Tinch off on top of the boxes. Nismo, what a big kill on Sabando. Sets up the 1v1. And now Tinch off. Oh, he's been hit by that Recon, and he still wins it out. A bullet to the brain for BCJ, and Tinchoff gets AK over the line.
How is he winning that with the recon through his ankle? What the hell am I
Achilles
seeing?
could never, bro.
That is madness. What a shot from Dante at the beginning too, and then M80, they want to get proactive, fight forward. You are joking. How the hell does he win that? I cannot believe that.
M80 still can buy for the most part.
Barely.
That's right. Barely indeed. BCJ with only the Stinger. No key ultimates here either for M80. Bit of a trough for them. Whereas AK are verging on a lot of their important abilities. And one way, of course, will be refreshed. M80 here biding their time. Net elsewhere hasn't really been that exploratory up mid. He's really just been trying to watch for a flank as he now realizes they can want to hedge as much as they can and stack these sites. In goes Koala Noob, he's going for it. Flash behind him by Nico, but he should be able to shrug this one off. Tinchoff also effective behind that Cybercade. 0 point comes out, but Tinchoff is going to be overwhelmed. This Stinger for BCJ finally goes to work. And now back in security, Adverso has to wait. Recon might give him something to work with despite the smoke in his face, but it's avoided by M80. Here they come though. The spray down is good for Koala Noob, and now Dante has to try and stand. And M80 recover. They come back from that nasty round loss. Kick 3 guns to boot.
It's just all Koala Noob again. Fighting back sight. 3K to close things out. Against an All Knights defense that looked set up and ready to nullify that hit again with 3 players. For just a moment there. Almost felt like Nico Machine was a little bit afraid. Never actually pushed through that smoke. Didn't try to flash out and throw himself into the fray, and his teammates just went down without him. Yeah, they're saving. They are saving. M80 can get to 12 right here. Should get to 12 right here.
Spano living dangerously. Shoulder peek. Sees Koala Noob coming, but just because you see him coming doesn't mean you can stop him. He descends. The blades refreshed. Nico's still able to bring him down. But damage done indeed. Trying to flash himself into the fight. The classic goes to work on Xander.
Down B.
Huge effort from Nico Machine. But the guns really aren't there for AK. Dante Deus hoping for a Hail Mary off the Blade Storm here. He'll be spotted out almost instantly. 8 and 13. Position revealed. Time ticking down. He looks for this smoke first. Tries to duck away and exposes himself too long to net. And Verso 1 away, of course, from his ultimate, but it's no good to him here. He's going to have a crack at it because at this point you may as well. Sheriff in hand. Dreams in heart. 1v3 on the table before him. And net puts him down. Match point for M80. 1 round away from that grand finals of Ascension.
Just a couple hours ago, I was convinced that M80's chances, everything they worked for, was going up in smoke, and they were just going out sad. But that is not going to be the case. Just 1 round, 6 chances. And the way that they're playing, and even if everyone stopped playing well for them individually, the way Koala Noob is playing, give him 6 tries, he'll find an ace somewhere. 28 and 11 right now.
And he opted the wrong spot for AK this round. So far at least. Nico Machine makes a gambit play. Flashes him out of A main. And versus Hunter's Fury helps. Gives AK that player advantage. Full buy this round. 3 ultimates to play from as well. Well positioned to hold on.
In the meantime, it's Net who's worked up mid, playing off the various smokes that M80 have thrown down to get in this position to split onto the A site late from vent. Apply pressure to Adverso. He's biding his time though. Patience as they're suppressed due to Nico Machine's null command. They're not going to rush this. They have enough time on the clock. Looks like they may even want to reset, explore elsewhere on the map. Try to drag rotates perhaps elsewhere. Oh my god, Net tries to find a timing off the paranoia. That is incredible. Neural theft for the information, and he gets the second.
30 seconds left.
Unbelievable.
Neural theft now tells all. M80 know about the positioning over towards this B site. The spike's been left behind him though, not fully committed. And Dante from Heaven was able to take Nismo down. Net, a lot of running riot this round, eventually brought to a screeching halt. But Pink Shot suffers at the hands of Xander. It's just Dante Deus.
10 seconds
How
left.
fitting. Inside this B site with the operator. And M80 is swarming all over him. No glory for Dante. No godhood. And now Nico Machine has to clutch it out. And after 2 years of toil, struggle, M80 have a shot at redemption.
I can't believe they've done it. I have never seen a team looking so down and out after 2 maps in a best-of-5 series. I have never seen a team look so mentally crushed. At the end of a map 2, Net won a clutch, and BCJ was yelling at his teammates to get excited for him. That is how devastated they were by what All Knights were doing to them in the server. With the Neon, the way Dante was playing, he was just an unstoppable force. They had no answers, and somehow they climb all the way back for the 2nd year in a row to make the Ascension final, to try to make it into the Partnership League, and Net for the 2nd year in a row to try to win Ascension. The first person in history to be able to do that.
Heartbreak here for All Knights. Had to go all the way to get out of their own region. Reverse swept in the final. A 5-map banger in the lower final to get them a spot here. And they tasted M80 right at the start of this tournament. They knew what they'd been going up against, but they had come so far in their run. Massive wins against TSM, that 2-1. Glorious as well, dealing them a fatal blow. Pulling up a little bit short against 2 gamers, everyone has happened to do. And they start the first 2 maps. 13 and 3, 13 and 4. Dante Deus delivering as promised. And it all comes to a screeching halt after Sunset gets away from them. And Icebox and Abyss are maps they cannot play that signature Neon style. They're exposed. And unfortunately, Dante Deus cannot be the difference maker in those maps either. 8 and 15, 9 and 15 respectively, with a great number of first kills to first death. He's still doing his job as a duelist, as an entry. And it's just not enough in the end. And M80, it would have been ridiculous to see them fall so early. after that loss to 2 game, and now they get to go back into that rematch with eyes wide open. They've tasted defeat. Now they've tasted a reverse sweep victory. They've got everything they need to go all the way.
You really can't walk away from this game and this tournament, though, without having massive respect for All Knights. I mean, coming into this tournament as the 2nd seed from LATAM, were unable to beat Reda, who came here the 1st seed. The improvements they made were immediately noticeable when you watch them in the group stage. But even throughout this tournament, how much they leveled up, and coming into it feeling like it was the Dante show, and Adverso was good too, this is a damn well-rounded team with some serious talent from an underrepresented region. I mean, really incredible players and an incredible run.
And the one thing they look to shore up, I'm sure, is that map pool going forward. But going back into their home region, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Even Reta had to sit on the sidelines and watch them almost go all the way in this Ascension tournament. One thing is for sure, the talent in LATAM is absolutely ready to be put on display to the whole world. And I mean, we're looking at guys like Dante. I mean, you know, he's not old enough for partnership yet, but as soon as that time comes, they're going to be looking at him. A number of players that have had the opportunity to distinguish themselves, to really show what they're capable of at this level. And I think All Knights definitely have to be proud with what they've been able to achieve. But this sets up our grand final here for VCT Ascension Americas 2024. NA number 1 seed M80 going up against Brazil number 2 seed 2 game. It's going to be a ridiculous game. We have a chance here to look back over this banger of a 5-map series. And to do that, we're going to be checking in with the desk and getting some of their thoughts on the match that was. Pretty crazy stuff. It's been great to be here. Uber and Wyatt signing out now and letting our analysts take over.
Thanks so much, you two. Absolutely crushed it the entire series. A full 5-map series here in the lower finals. And in the end, it's going to be M80 coming out victorious. I mean, this is an M80 last year. They went through that lower bracket. They made their way into the grand finals before falling short just at that final stop. The script was made last year, but this is an opportunity now to rewrite the ending, finding themselves in the grand finals yet again. This is an M80 that the first couple maps were kind of slow. They kind of sucked, but they popped off. M80, the transformation, everyone on the squad. This last map, a Koala noob who refused to lose this series. Like, I know his family's watching. I know they must be proud. Jen, there's so much to talk about here. Big congratulations to M80, especially Koala Lobster. Yeah.
28 kills for Koala Noob. I formally apologize for saying that, man. I was worried because, you know, this was a whole different Koala Noob jet than what we saw on Haven. This was a jet that took full control, but this was not the Koala Noob show. What made M80 lethal every single time, you see it in the clips, the most perfectly timed flashes every single time. And, you know, we'll see the stats in a second, but you'll hear me once. 28 assists combined between Nismo and Xander to enable Koala Noob to drop an absolute bomb, for them to get so many first kills behind of these perfectly synchronized entries. We needed tempo to be on point for M80, and they delivered that at the end of the finish line.
And Uber and Wyatt nailed it as well on, despite Tinchov having a low KDA on the first part of the half when All Knights were on the attack, it's because they were doing such a good job actually controlling middle and creating that paranoia to not allow M80 to go for any of these fast retakes or fast rotates. It does give a chance here for All Knights to really execute within the sites where you're pushing Koala Noob, the Opera, away into security, into the back lines, and forcing M80 to play the retake. But if you're overcommitting and trying to flip the site and walk into and fight into the crosshair where Koala Noob, was not missing a single shot, then it comes to show that the lurk will not turn into a last-second flank here that Tinchov could actually activate to help out the team. So they were missing that extra layer to really help out, to take control of Heaven or utilize him into the post plan to give a chance here for All Knights to have a better attack side. So that's just unfortunate, and it definitely is going to bite, because when you saw this starting to crumble here for All Knights on their attacking side, I think you're starting to see a glimpse of, oh my god, this is happening again. We're about to get reverse swept here by just like we did by Reta when we're taking the lead 2-0 in the series in our strongest maps. And I think also, just to finalize that point, it comes to show where, yes, they were trying to work a 7-map pool, But going into the other 5 outside of Lotus and Haven, there was a little bit of weaknesses shown into that, and you're too focused into your own playstyle that you maybe didn't have those opportunities to really ante or understand these important pistol rounds that you could try to win against your opponents.
To say a lot of emotions at the end of that. I mean, obviously for M80 to see them in the grand finals is amazing, but for All Knights, I like that again, cannot state the transformation from the beginning of groups to playoffs to what they've gotten to see. And sure, falling a little short at the end. I know that there's going to be a lot of talk about Dante, especially on that jet, but Dante has been lights out this entire tournament. Like, this kid's bright. He has a bright future here, Jen.
Yeah, I mean, Uber pointed out the only player to go over 400 kills was Dante, a force to be reckoned with, a one that you are going to pull out the triple sentinel to try and stop him and still be unable to. And we were just talking, Sierra, you know, before we came back of just how competitive Ascension is. A lot of people thought M80 were going to come here and perfect sweep or be flawless or be kind of unstoppable. And they really were stopped. They had to reverse sweep to be in the grand final. So I'm really excited to see what kind of fight 2G can put up with when they were the ones that put M80 in the lower bracket in the first place.
Definitely comes to show the camaraderie, though, at the end of the game. You know, there was a lot of trash talk from Nismo from the Icebox game into the 5th map with the confidence of the guy stepping up here and standing up into these moments where Colin was getting multi-kills, but exchanging all these hugs. M80 has been in that spot where you're so close to ascending and unfortunately just lose it, where you could even taste the victory of at least making it to the grand finals, and unfortunately couldn't pass that finish line to get there into the final rounds. And they know how much that stings to not be able to ascend. So to show that respect, to leave that in the game, and to show that you have what it takes, like don't give up, don't let go, because this is also a team for All Knights that's stuck together ever since the beginning of the season for 2024. They never went through a roster change. They kept with a rookie, they kept with young players within the team around the veterancy of somebody like Adverso, and they looked very good. Again, just like to reiterate what Uber was saying, they're a force to be reckoned with back in the LATAM region.
Yeah, and whatever ends up happening for next season, and even the season after, since, of course, Aldega is only 17. I mean, these are going to be names that we get to see again, especially when we're looking at some of the young talents. And I think that is a common theme here for Ascension, considering how tight this competition has been. But, of course, for one of the teams, we won't have to wait for a roster mania. We still have a grand finals ahead of us. 2G versus M80, and that is going to be just the series of a lifetime. Of course, we still have an interview for today to wrap up this series, a quick break, and on the other side, we'll get to talk to the victorious M80.
They say in life, there are no guarantees. They say a lot of stuff like that. Slow it down. Play it safe. Hedge your bets. So what? You gonna listen to that? You gonna stop because they can't guarantee you'll pull this off? No guarantee you'll win? No guarantee everything's gonna be fine? In life, you make your own guarantees. Nobody else will light your way. Start your own fire and keep it burning. And we guarantee you'll have one hell of a lifetime.
I don't know, but like something like restricting your diet like the day before. I feel like I've definitely heard before, and I feel like I mean, I kind of get like you're not eating like bad food, but like I think the guy took it to like a whole new extreme. Like he couldn't eat like anything, and then like before match time came, he ate this and that. It's like, bro, like come on, it's not that serious.
No. I think there are things that I can't really say, man. Like I have to keep it PG-13. Like they're weird. They're weird guys out there. Like weird guys. Like people that don't eat, don't have breakfast, don't have lunch. People that use the same clothes for matches, like the repeat clothes. I'm hoping it's just the outside, like shirt and pants.
It's not really that crazy. I just find it really, really nice. My teammate, Luke Shaw, he's the same age as me, and he has a little diary. And like every time before a game, he writes down like all his thoughts and all his worries. He closes up and then he goes to the computer, and I find that really cool.
Like Silence has a good one. Silence just have to be the first on shower like every night before the game. If he doesn't be the first, he says, we were losing, you know, I have to take shower first, and that's it. It's a crazy one.
Well, people here are kind of weird, but yeah, it's pretty much like this. If we win, like we are playing 3 days in a row, right? For example. So if we win the first day with the same clothes, they're gonna use the same, pretty much the same. I hope the underwear is different. I really hope about that. But yeah, I think this is weird. There is a few guys that does this here.
Honestly, I've had very normal teams. I haven't seen anyone do anything like very crazy or weird. But I will say like some of my teammates, like you just said, they have to take a shower right before the match every single time, no matter what. And then other guys, we just go for a walk and like stand in the sun for 15 minutes and just soak it all in, you know. But that's pretty much it. Even when I was on LAN of like my other teammates, they didn't do too much besides just, you know, hop on, put on some music, get in the zone, and then do what you gotta do.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I'm here with Nismo. Nismo, first of all, congratulations for winning this match. The first question, of course, that I want to ask you is how are you doing right now?
Feeling really happy. Obviously, coming back from 2-0, you know, reverse sweeping. Everyone is pretty happy, so we're feeling confident and excited. We're losing our voice, so yeah, overall very happy.
That's great. So your next match is against 2G. You guys already lost to them. How are you guys preparing for that match?
We know what we do. We know what to do, and again, against them, we have experience against them. We know what we did wrong in the first game. We talked about it for, like I said, almost 7 hours. So again, we know what we're gonna do. We need to come in and execute the plan. Play together. Obviously, that's gonna be #1 plan, and shut down their aggression is gonna be the #1 key.
Great. So I wanted to ask you, what have you learned throughout the course of this tournament?
Don't underestimate anyone. All these teams are really good. They put in a lot of work, and they're very good people. Honestly, at the end of the day, it hurts my soul when I see these guys cry. I've been in there last season. This time, we're not going to drop the ball. But yeah, don't underestimate your teammates. Oh, sorry, the enemies. Yeah, everyone is overall very good.
So the last question, I already did use this question that it was on what % were you? I don't remember what you said, but I thought like, I think it was
50,
like a 50, 40%.
Yeah.
Right now, what % of Nismo we saw?
The first 2 games, I would say around 50. The third game, I was at my 100% there. And overall, I'm still doing all I can do, calming as much as I can. Still at the 70%-ish. we could do better overall.
Still the 70%. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Nismo. Congratulations for the win. Guys, it's all for today, but tomorrow we have the grand final. So just come back. Thank you very much.
Hey, if we're only seeing 70% of Nismo, like that iceboxing going on, we get to see 100% tomorrow.
His hair's gonna
they
grow.
definitely have a riot. Yo, I thought the casters had determined earlier that like less hair makes you better.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it back.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, M80 should be really proud of what they accomplished here today. We had talked about beforehand about this best of fives and what team that this can fare. And M80, we've talked about the mentals and everything else. And I mean, Jen, on the day when they were down, when they looked like they were out, they really stepped up to the occasion.
Yeah, and yes, M80 are a beatable team, and they're going up against the only team that could do it, 2G in the grand final. They'll have their own advantage, but just a reminder, M80 won in groups, 2G won in playoffs, but only one team can go to Ascension, and I think there's a lot for 2G to learn here from the best of five, the reverse sweep, and kind of like Nismo said, don't underestimate anyone, including M80, who came back in that series when even Cloud9 thought that they were dead in the water from the tweets that we saw on social media. So this is going to be such a fun grand final.
I do agree with exactly what Nismo was saying, what you're mentioning here, Jen. Do not underestimate your enemies, especially when it comes down to a grand finals where you set the stakes of 2G where they had never played a BO5 before. But thankfully, going into tomorrow, they should have the advantage of map bans to their favor, while M80 will have 0. So now you have an opportunity to maybe try to take advantage of this M80 that doesn't really play a bind at all, or can't really maybe run a composition that could really flood or no raise, for example, when Nismo has to play more initiators. So there's an opportunity to really anti and win the map veto against your opponents. And also with the way that you've been playing and currently, antied pretty much the icebox and also to the sunset of your opponents, there's still a good chance here that 2G could upset M80 in the grand finals here and ascend to partnership.
I mean, you're talking about players and teams being underestimated. 2Game coming here off circuit points and the absolute masterclass they put on when they knocked M80 down to that lower bracket. I think maybe a team that was a little slept on before, and I don't think anyone is going to make that mistake again. They were prepped, they were ready, but it all comes down to tomorrow, the grand finals. Who's going to ascend? It's going to be 2Game or M80. But for tonight, we all have to take a break. I know Nismo said the team was losing their voices. They're going to need those if everyone's going to be yelling back and forth at the stage tomorrow. So we're ending things off here. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. We'll see you tomorrow for the grand finals.
Bye.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy.
Killed the rat.
Last player standing.
I know exactly where.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Fight down. Flawless. Remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
I know it.
down. They're dead.
One suppressed.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
No mention micro. Shut down. Obstacle engaged.
Perfect. One enemy remaining.